congrats on joining this live webinar because by being here, you're already setting yourself apart from 99% of guys because you're here. You've decided to show up. Now, myself, if you don't know my story, I went from being kind of a shy, nice guy. I was pretty good looking, pretty cool. Like I wasn't weird or too awkward, but I just wasn't really having a system. Like I was just relying on luck. And I went from that to having predictable success and getting dates whenever I want. And I've been able to do this while growing my business to seven figures, while calling my parents, having friends, being in a good physical shape. Like you don't have to sacrifice your business or your fitness or anything else because of women. You can absolutely get dates every single week without sacrificing your work, your business, and everything else. And it's not just myself that has done it. I mean, hundreds of my clients have done it as well. We have hundreds of success stories, and every single week I'm sharing those in in literally everywhere on my Telegram channel, on my IG story, everywhere. Every single platform I'm sharing success stories. So it's not just myself. Now let's talk about the systems. So, as some of you know, I'm big on systems. I'm really big on systems, and this is going to be a recurring theme throughout this whole presentation. Is the importance of having systems. This is not some weird pickup artist bullshit. This is not some cheap gimmicks. We're not some pickup artist here. This is really some pragmatic stuff that is really evergreen. Like it's gonna work even 10 years from now, 20 years from now. It's the same fucking system. Okay. And there's only really three ways to date girls. It's either going to be cold approach. So you're going to be able to approach women during daytime and nighttime, or it's going to be online. So online, the platforms are changing. Every decade, there's some new platforms. But right now, it's Instagram, Bumble, Tinder, etc. Now, the other thing is social circle. So obviously, social circle is very important because if you're just a loner and you don't have any friends and you don't have cool people around you, then that's weird. Like you want to have a social circle, you want to bring the girl to your existing social circle and have a lifestyle that fuels the whole funnel as well. So social circle is super super important. So these are really the three main ways to get dates. So let's dive in. Basically, these are brand new systems. I mean, these systems, they're relatively new. I mean, it's been kind of a couple of years now that I've been adopting them consistently. And on a large scale, I mean, they're kind of new and I'm always refining them. Like a lot of the things I'm going to show you, I'm refining them every single year. So some of the systems that I was teaching 2, 3 years ago, they're not the same as this year, you know? So that's one thing. Now, number one, if you want to be successful in this presentation, I highly recommend taking some notes because I'm going to go through the presentation a bit fast because there's a lot of things to cover. So make sure you just, close all the distractions and be ready to focus and take notes. Number two, I mean, this is actually point number two. You want to focus on the presentations, close the tabs, etc., but take a lot of notes. Number three, you have to stay till the end, absolutely, because the thing is, I'm gonna basically share the best things by the end of the presentation. So you want to stay. And number four, ask questions. Ask questions, participate, because that's how you learn. And actually, at the end of this presentation, I'm gonna do a Q&A. So any of you who wants to ask me a question personally, you can ask it at the end of the presentation. I'm going to be doing a Q&A where you can ask all your questions, right? Now, before we start, type in your dating goal for this year. Like, what is your dating goal? Type it in the chat right now. Do you want to get multiple dates? Do you want to have a girlfriend? Do you want to, like, what's your goal right now? Just so that we clear and just so that I kind of understand like where you want to be so that it's just more useful for the presentation. So what's your goal right now? Junior says side hose. Okay, so you want to have multiple options and fuck some girls every week. Okay. Um, what about Ross? What about Stanley? What about all of you guys? What are your goals? Let me know. And then we're going to dive in. But as I said, guys, there's only three ways to get dates, literally, universally. It doesn't matter if you're Bali, you're in Dubai, you're in New York, it doesn't matter where. It's either going to be online, cold approach, social circle. You're going to have to master those. And don't be a one-trick pony because a lot of guys, they think, oh, I'm just going to do online or I'm just going to do cold approach. No, you want to do a bit of all of these things because they're all synergistic. They all work together. And this is really the true power of those things is like once you master all of them, they work together in synergy and they compound over time. So that's one thing. Now, anyways, let's talk about why it's so important to have systems. First, I want to go into the goals. Stanley, you said have more dates. Alex, you said have a good partner. And Ross, you said keeping the high value women I want. Okay, so more about retaining, Ross, but also, I guess, attracting. So Stanley, okay. Let me know, all of you guys. There's 18 people, so now there's only 6 people who don't be shy, guys. Just put in the chat. It's okay. I was like you. Me too. I was looking at presentations and I didn't want to participate. I wanted to be like kind of in my corner, but just participate a little bit. That's fine. Alan says being successful in all steps. Okay, great. So yeah, all areas. Cool, cool. Anyways, well, if you type it in later, I will read it later. For now, let's move on. But basically, you know this quote, right? I always share this quote because it's a very important quote for any area, even in business. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall, sorry, to the level of your systems. So you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. If you read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, you would recognize this quote because it's a really good quote, and it's really one of the main foundation that you need to understand. Like your goal is your desired outcome. Like right now, okay, you want to have side hoes, you want to retain women, you want to get multiple dates, etc. But the only way to get there is through actual systems, because goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are what's going to get you there. And I always say that losers only have goals because, yeah, I want this, I want that, I want to make $1 million, I want to make whatever, I want to live in a mansion. But at the end of the day, the people who truly achieve that are the people who have systems, right? And so winners have systems, losers have goals. And think of your career, health, finances, relationships, personal growth, all these things, they're all a bunch of systems. Like literally, the financial system is a system. Like you have the banks, you have the government, you have this, you have that. Same thing for the education systems. You have high school, universities, this teachers, like the whole, like everything is a system. Like your body is a system. You have your respiratory system, your blood system, your whatever system, cardiovascular system. Everything is a system, right? And the more you focus on improving the systems in your life, the better results you're going to get, whether for your business, for your fitness, for your dating, and it's the same thing everywhere. Now, consciously or unconsciously, your dating life has multiple systems. As I said, you have cold approach systems. So whether you know it or not, right now you have a cold approach system. You have a way to approach women. It might be horrible, or it might be mediocre, or it might be, yeah, like really subpar, but you have a system. Same online. You have kind of a presence. Your online presence might be shitty, but you have one anyway. Your social circle too. You have a social circle. I mean, your parents are part of your social circle. Your cousins, your family, your whatever, your neighbor is part of your social circle, but it might not be optimal right now. So whether you know it or not, consciously or unconsciously, you have systems, but the key is to refine them and to really be conscious about what you're doing and engage in the right practices, because all these systems are going to lead you to the outcomes you have. And so if the outcomes you have are not optimal right now, it's probably because these systems that you're having right now are not optimal. So in my programs, I always teach all these things like cold approach, online, social circle. And I'm gonna show you in this presentation some of the things I teach. But yeah, first of all, I want to share with you a few things. So number one, why am I doing this webinar? It's because, my mission is to help guys like yourselves to completely transform their dating lives. Because I was there as well. I was also there. Like growing up, I was okay, I was pretty good looking. I was getting a few girls in high school, but I didn't really have like a system, and so I was kind of relying on luck, and it kind of bothered me. It bothered me to not have this clarity, and also I wasn't getting the girls I truly wanted. Like I was getting average girls, like normal. So I wanted to be better. And about 10 years ago, I had a girlfriend too, and we broke up, and it was a bit of a hard breakup for me because I thought she was the one, and I thought, I was kind of afraid of losing her and stuff like that. I bet you guys too had a story like that. I bet you guys too once fell in love with a girl or had like a really good crush on a girl, and then for some reason you fucked it up, or maybe it never happened. Well, that was me 10 years ago too. Even me 10 years ago, I had a crush. I got her, and then I ended up losing her because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So That's one thing. Anyways, I'm just gonna skip a few things because I know some of you guys don't really care about my story. You care about what the fuck is the this presentation gonna give you. So I'm gonna show you what's in it for you, obviously, but I just want to give you like a context of who I am because some of you guys don't know me. So I also started my business really early on, like when I was 18. I actually studied in one of the best universities in Canada called McGill. Maybe some of you know this university. And university wasn't really for me. I was always kind of this entrepreneur guy. I always wanted to build my business and make a lot of money, etc. So I was okay in university, but I really spent a lot of time in university investing in myself, buying courses, reading books, etc. Actually, really early on, I invested in my first boot camp when I was 18. Like I invested in a boot camp with some of you guys know this company in the past, like Real Social Dynamics, right? With Owen Cook and all these guys. Well, I've invested really early on in one of their boot camps. And I was stressed out at this moment of my life when I was studying because I was barely affording rent. I was a broke student. I was investing in all these courses, but I wasn't seeing a lot of ROI. Like I wasn't really making a bunch of money. So I was a bit stressed out, but I knew it would all be worth it, eventually. So, anyways, I've invested in myself really early on, built a bunch of businesses, e-commerce, stuff like that. I was also modeling. I was in the fashion industry for a while, modeling and stuff like that. So this actually teaches you a lot about women and how they think. When you model and you see a bunch of hot girls with and without makeup and what they talk about and what they think, like you would understand women a lot better. So that really helped me. I appeared on the Canadian national TV when I was 20 as well, because they made like a documentary about like pickup artist stuff, and it was like a long time ago. And I'm also a DJ. For some of you who don't know, I was DJing actually last week in a really cool venue here, and it helps too with girls because you get that lifestyle. Women look up to you, and you get a lot of social proof. When you DJ in an event, literally like yes, last week. I had girls coming up to me and just asking me my Instagram because I don't know, it's just so easy when you have that social proof. Anyways, I'm not like encouraging you to be a DJ. I'm just saying. So anyway, since then I dated hundreds of amazing girls. Obviously, I mean, with experience comes results, right? I mean, once you have experience, once you have the competence, it becomes easy to replicate the results anywhere you go. So as I was traveling and as I was building all these businesses, I really started having an amazing dating life, like really going out consistently with amazing girls, dating them, and just building a lifestyle that was cool, that was fun. And that's when I started, writing my books. I wrote Playboy Secrets. I wrote Instagram Secrets. I started building a following when it comes to dating, and started really, really getting into coaching. And now, I mean, it's been almost 7 years now that I've been coaching hundreds of guys, in real life, online, everywhere. And I've even hosted like a lot of seminars. I still host boot camps. I mean, all these photos are from boot camps that I've hosted the past few months. And the next one is actually next week. Next week on Thursday, I'm flying. I'm flying to Belgrade. I have a boot camp with 4 or 5 clients, and Dublin in June as well. That's going to be a great one too. So I'm still doing this. It's not like I'm not like one of these dating coaches that has done that, because you see those dating coaches, some of them like they've done that like 10 years ago, but now they kind of have a family and they don't go out anymore, but they just teach this, but they don't do this anymore. And myself, no, I'm still in the trenches. That's the thing. And I think it's very important when you coach people to still be in the trenches, still be dating, still be going out. Because if you're just like retired and you're married now, you have kids now, you don't go out anymore, but you still teach this, you don't get the same like grasp on the market and on what's actually happening. So I think it's very important to walk your talk and just, like do it. There's a bunch of coaches that they teach cold approach. They don't even approach. Like they never approach. So anyway, now for most men out there, the dating scene can feel like a hamster wheel. Like some of you, it might feel like that. Like you go on dating apps, you match with a few girls, maybe you get a date, and then for some reason she stops being interested, and back to square one, back to dating apps again, matching with a few girls, wasting a bunch of time, etc. Or you approach a girl and you approach a bunch of girls, and some reject you, some don't reject you. And maybe sometimes, if you're lucky, you get a girl, and for some reason, I don't know, like she stops replying to you, or she becomes uninterested, and then back to square one. And it's always this never-ending hamster wheel. Or maybe you never date at all. Like it's always this hamster wheel of trying to get dates, but every single time it fails, or something happens, or the girl just ghosts you, or it's like a never-ending cycle of frustration, right? And you're not alone. Like I've been there too, as I told you. My clients have been there too. So you're not alone. And as I said, one of the keys to solving that is having the right systems. There's a great book, by the way, called Work the System by Sam Carpenter. It's a great book for business, but it can help you also with your dating life. In any case, so as I said, I realized very early on in my business that having systems was the main the main game changer between you not making a lot of money to you making money. And same thing for your health. I mean, this is me, I work out pretty consistently, like 5 times a week, could be better, but having systems in your health too. Like when you work out, you probably have a workout plan. You probably have maybe Monday you do chest and triceps. Tuesday you do back and biceps, whatever. Like you have a plan. You do like a specific training workout, right? And same thing, whether you do that for your business, for your fitness, for your dating, you need to have a plan. That's the main thing, that's the main point that I wanna hammer here. Now, I guarantee you that if you're not dating at least like 3, 4 girls a month, it's probably because your dating systems are not optimal. But it's not your fault, because I know that we don't really teach this in school. I mean, your parents are not going to teach you that. You're not going to teach this in school. You're either going to learn this by yourself with videos, books, courses, whatever, or from just like being around guys who are good at this. If you're around guys who are good at this, then you can get good at this as well. But they don't really teach this. So to some extent, it's not really your fault if you're not getting the results you want, because it's kind of a rare skill nowadays. Like very few guys have actually mastered it. And the dating market is kind of fucked up right now, as you know. I mean, a lot of girls are getting so much attention on social media for no reason. I mean, when you're a girl, if you're hot and you post sexy pictures, you can get attention from guys all over the world without doing anything. And most of the hot girls are receiving hundreds of messages a day on dating apps, on Instagram, etc. So the competition is getting more and more. It's getting harder. It's just getting harder. So that's the main thing I want to say. And that's why I always say that there's kind of a sexual Darwinism taking place right now. If you know the theory of evolution by Darwin, you know that the the strongest the strongest species are gonna be the one adapting and surviving, and the species that haven't adapted, then they're gonna just die or get eaten by the stronger species, right? And it's kind of the same thing in the dating market right now. Like the big fish, like the guys, the top 1%, the guys who have a lot of money, who travel the world, who have their physique on point, who have their game on point, they're the ones getting all the girls. And the guys who are kind of dabbling around, just not really making a lot of results in all areas, like they're just not getting dates. They're just, struggling to just get like an average girl. So that's one thing. And so right now there's this concept of hypergamy, where women have a lot of choice and they're a lot more picky, and they want to pick for the best guys who have money, who have status, who can, just who, yeah, the guys who basically are crushing it in all areas. So most girls right now are going for the top 1% guys, and the guys who are not in that top 1%, they're kind of left with the leftovers, with the crumbs. And that's why since 2008, I mean, the number of sexless guys under 30 has literally tripled, right? And so beautiful women have endless options, and most guys, it's kind of the opposite right now. So that's the thing. Anyways, if you're in this training, we're going to solve this. And this training is for you if you're a single guy, if you're unhappy with your relationships, and even if you're getting dates right now, there's probably a couple things you're going to grasp. And it's really for you, for all of you. I mean, even if you have some success right now, like this is going to refine the whole process and give you a lot of clarity. But most guys are getting shitty results. I mean, most guys, they're just I mean, it's just like, as I said, a hamster wheel. Like they're doing as many cold approaches as possible, but they're not getting results. They're creating multiple accounts on dating apps, but same thing. It's not really leading to anything. Or they go to nightclubs and get drunk and hopefully pull a girl, but most of the time they just end up going back home and masturbating. And a lot of times, they waste a lot of time on social media going through dating videos from pickup guys on the internet, but it's really, at the end of the day, they're not really moving the needle. They're just consuming content about it, but they're not really taking action. Now, even if they manage to get a date, most guys, they're not able to retain the girls. So most girls, they're gonna be uninterested after a few dates or after one date, or they're not able to close. So a lot of guys, they get dates, but once the girl comes on the date, they're not able to close the deal. Like the girl comes and then they don't know how to sexualize things, they don't know how to flirt, they don't know how to pull the girl home, and so it just ends up not going anywhere. So that's what we're going to solve right now. And how society tells you it's supposed to work is obviously, get a good job, get a nice house, get shredded, etc. And this is true in some way. Obviously, you want to maximize your situation. You want to have a pretty good job, a pretty good business. If you have a business, obviously work on your body, etc. But those things, they're nice to have, but they're not the main things that are going to get you dates. Because you can have a nice car, you can have a good job, you can have a nice house, whatever, but if you don't proactively engage into conversations with women and you don't proactively get out of your way to meet and approach women, they're not going to come by themselves. Women are not going to be approaching you, even if you're a billionaire, unless they're gold diggers or they're just like super. I mean, and yeah, unless it's that, most girls are not going to approach you. Women are not the initiators usually. We are the initiators anyway. So the same way you penetrate her in bed, you have to penetrate her socially. You have to penetrate her by approaching her first. So that's one thing. Now, a lot of guys are getting advice like just be yourself, be confident, stuff like that too. And obviously, all this advice is just mainstream, generic, and doesn't really move the needle. Now, if you're a bit more advanced, maybe you saw a lot of guys teaching social circle, like Michael Sartain or Luke from RSD, or some guys from Canada, or some guys who teach social circle, or some guys are going to teach you a bunch of online funnels like the Tinder funnel or stuff like that. This too can work. Honestly, all the methods can work. Like social circle can work, cold approach can work, Tinder can work. Everything can work if you work it. But you need to have more of a pragmatic approach to things, which I'm going to show you. But just remember that it's not about looks, money, and stuff like that. It's about yes, having the right systems, but also having a strong frame, a strong understanding of female psychology, and all of these things. Now let's dive in, because I don't want to spend too much time into introductory stuff. But as you can see, I've been pretty successful with this, and that's why I want to share this today, because I really walk the talk. I'm getting dates consistently, especially these days. And I'm out there. I'm out there like you guys. Me too. I'm approaching, I'm DMing girls, I'm doing the same thing I'm teaching you. So that's one thing. And as I said, the first thing I want to say is we're not pickup artists. Again, like this is not about learning some lines or stuff like that. All these things like learning pickup lines and all of that, these are outdated. Like when you read like the Mystery Method by Mystery, or you read The Game by Neil Strauss, or you read all these pickup books on Amazon, yes, they can have like some fundamental truths and things that you can take from them. But at the end of the day, like you don't want to rely on these things. You don't want to rely on lines and some gimmicks, right? Because one of my mentors, he told me you can either work to become an excellent man, or you can work to become an excellent manipulator. And when you're just reciting lines and pretending to know what you're talking about, or pretending to say something that you learned from the internet, you're truly not yourself in a way, and you're just trying to forcefully manufacture like a situation, but it's not really authentic in a way. And a lot of pickup artists are willing to sacrifice who they truly are, just to hook up with a girl and just like be this masquerade behind someone they're not. So I think you don't want to be that way. Instead, you want to be a quality guy, a genuinely, like a guy who really works on himself in many, many ways, who truly knows himself, and who's able to understand the communication principles to a level where he can come up with his own lines. Like right now, I can come up with my own lines 24/7 because I know the principles behind them. I don't need to copy someone else because I just know what to do. I know the fundamental things I need to do in a conversation to get to what I do, to get to a point where you can have sex. Anyway, but it all starts with your frame and mindset, because the inner game is actually 70% of the game. Like 70% of the game is the inner game, because you can have the best cold approach system, you can have the best Instagram system, social circle, whatever, but if your mindset isn't on point, you're not going to get very far. So your mindset, your frame, your worldview need to be in alignment with all the systems that I'm going to show you, and you need to work on that. Like, think, like, what kind of man are you? What kind of life do you want to live? What kind of women do you want to have? It really starts with that. It starts with having a real understanding of yourself and who you want to become. Once you have a clear understanding of who you are and who you want to become, that's how you can attract the right things in your life. If you're not clear about who you are and who you want to become, you're always going to attract subpar situations because you really haven't defined what you truly want. So it starts with that. And then also you need to understand how the dating market works. So here's the thing. The dating market is like any other market. There's an offer, there's a demand. It's kind of an economy in itself. And imagine right now, like imagine you have a financial market, right? And in that financial market, you have multiple companies. You have like Apple, you have I don't know, like whatever company, Apple, Microsoft, Zoom, Shopify, whatever. Well, each company has a certain value in the market. And depending on the results they bring and what they've been able to achieve, they have a certain valuation. Well, it's kind of the same thing in the dating market. Like each guy has a certain valuation in some way. Leonardo DiCaprio, he's not going to have the same valuation as a random janitor are some at some 9 to 5 who's not that good looking, who's really not that uh who's not that famous, whatever. So obviously Leonardo DiCaprio has a valuation that's higher in the dating market than just a random dude, and that's the reality. And you have to view yourself as a product in that market too. You have a value whether you know it or not, and it's kind of subjective. I mean, some girls might think you're a 10 and some girls might think you're a 2. So it really depends. It's subjective as well. But universally, women respond to certain things, and if you can improve these things, you will always be able to improve your value in the market and get better and better and better and attract higher quality girls. And if you want some premium women, like women who are truly high quality, you got to position yourself as a premium guy as well. The world is only going to give you what you deserve. I mean, if you don't deserve tens, well, you're not going to have tens. And you might sleaze your way into a 10 or whatever one day by luck, but you will not be able to replicate that success consistently if you're not there yet. So you got to be a generally like a real quality guy. And in the dating in the dating market, you can either be a Toyota, like mass adopted, made to fit in, normal, or you can be kind of a Lambo, like a guy who truly stands out, a guy who truly shines. And when a girl looks at your profile, for example, your Instagram, you're shining. Like like she's like, wow, okay, this guy's traveling, this guy's doing this guy is successful, he's looking good, he's dressed well, and so you're standing out, right? But not just on Instagram, even in real life. I mean, everywhere. And you want to be a Lambo. So ask yourself, like, who are you right now? Are you kind of a Toyota right now, kind of normal, or are you really standing out? Because this is really important. Why would she date you instead of another guy who's better? And that's the reality. So that's one thing. Now, the things that are going to affect your sexual market value as a guy are going to be, number one, your status and your income. Obviously, you always have to work on improving that. Then your physical fitness. Absolutely, you need to work on that. Going to the gym, training martial arts, those type of things are important. Then social proof, having friends, having people around, like that's why social circle is important. Like you want to have a social circle, you want to have cool friends around, etc., so that women can feel like, okay, this guy is cool, he has friends, he must be cool to be around. And then your leadership, what I call your alphaness, like how much of a leader are you? how good are you leading yourself and how good are you leading other people? So that's one thing. Now let's talk about the kind of the dating funnels and how they work. So the Pareto principle, maybe you've heard of this. Like 80% of your results usually comes from 20% of your actions. You probably know that. And well, there's a bunch of systems, but there's really two main ways you're going to generate dates actually. It's either going to be live, like you approaching women in real life, or I mean in real life during daytime, sorry, or in real life during nighttime, or it's going to be online. So it's either a live approach, like a real life approach, or it's going to be an online approach. These are the two main ways. Like you're not going to meet women elsewhere. It's either going to be you on your way somewhere or in a party or whatever, and you're approaching a woman. It could be at work as well, or could be somewhere, but in real life, or it's going to be online. There's not like 100 different ways to meet women, either online or in real life. And for each way, you need to optimize these things. But it always starts with the same thing, an approach. So it starts with an approach. Then from that approach, you're going to have a conversation. Then from that conversation, you're going to get her contact. And then you're going to date her. And then either you're going to have sex or not. Right? Same thing online. It always starts with a direct message. So either you message her after a match or you message her directly on Instagram, a cold DM. And then from that, you get into a conversation. If she replies, then you have that conversation. Then you set up a date and you get her contact, and then you either you close or not. So those are kind of the two main funnels that you need to refine. Now, I'm not going to go into this sheet. This is a sheet, like an Excel sheet that I've done to kind of reverse engineer your success with women. I'm not going to go through it right now. Maybe I'll go through it later. But it allows you to kind of know your numbers. Like, for example, if you know you want to get, like, let's say 2 dates this week, well, how many approaches do you need to make? How many conversations do you need to engage in so that you can get those 2 dates a week? Because a lot of guys, the thing is, they want to have like 2 dates a week, but they approach one girl or they approach like zero. So you need to have enough volume in the pipeline. And a lot of guys are a bit delusional. They're a bit delusional about what it takes really to be consistent and get dates consistently. They approach like 3 girls a month and they expect to get dates weekly. So that's the thing. The first thing is fixing the volume issue. Like, how many women are you actually approaching? Like, if you think about this week, now we're Saturday, right? In most part of the world. If you're in Australia, we're probably Sunday. But if you are in most part of the world, we're still on Saturday. So how many women have you approached from Monday till now? Like a real cold approach. If it's less than 5 or 10, well, no wonder you haven't gotten any dates this week, probably. So that's the thing. Or maybe they come, I mean, you got dates, but they came from last week or whatever. But you won't have enough volume. That's one of the things. And the guys who don't get dates consistently or aren't able to find time for it, it's because usually either they have a poor time management, or they're not prioritizing it, or they're too lazy, or they don't know how to do it. Or they have negative thought patterns like dating is too expensive. Why should I do this? All girls are gold diggers, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just blame. They're into blame. Like, oh, society now, if society is fucked up in the West, why would I do this? Let me focus on work. I don't need to date girls. And so a lot of guys have different beliefs and negative thought patterns as well that they need to fix. But apart from that, it's a lot of like poor time management or just not doing it at all, you know? So that's one thing. Hey, by the way, thanks again for listening to this podcast. If you're on Spotify or Apple or Google, all I ask from you is to put a 5-star review in whatever platform you're using. I'm not asking anything from you. I'm not running any ads, any sponsorship, anything. All I'm asking is, if you enjoy this podcast, leave a 5-star review so that we can increase our rank and people can hear more about this podcast. And if you have any friends of yours who are interested in learning more about dating, about making money, about networking, traveling, then definitely share this podcast with your friends. I will be forever grateful. And thanks again for watching this podcast. And by the way, if you reshare this podcast on your story on Instagram, I will reshare it and repost it myself and tag you in my story as well. So now that I've said this, let's continue with the podcast. Now realize that we all have the same 168 hours in a week. Like we all have the time in a way. Like we sleep for 56 if we sleep 8 hours. Most of us don't even sleep 8 hours. We sleep like 6, 7 hours a night. And if you sleep, let's say 7, 8 hours a night and you spend 40 hours at work, well, you would be left with 72 hours where you could do whatever and you could meet girls and do whatever you want. So you need to plan your week the right way so that you're able to just meet women, approach them, date them, text them, all of that. Now, here's how I plan my week. Every single week, I know that I'm going to work out at least 4 to 5 times a week for an hour. That's for sure. The rest of the week, I'm going to work on my business. So every single day, I'm going to put in the work in my business as well. I'm going to dedicate some time to learning, reading, stuff like that. I usually read before bed and when I eat, usually when I eat, I watch like an educational video or a course. And then the rest of the time, I'm just like either meeting friends or meeting girls or calling my parents. So if it's not the gym, if it's not work, if it's not learning or reading, if it's not sleeping, then it's just going out or dating or calling your parents. But that's going to take maximum a few hours, like 2 hours, 3 hours a week maximum, unless you call your parents for 5 hours a day, which I don't think so. So so that's one thing. Like you just do these things and you do them consistently. Now, a lot of you guys are wasting a lot of times elsewhere. Like you have to like, what is your hourly rate? If you could give yourself an hourly rate of your time, how much is an hour of your time? $20, $100, $1,000, $5,000? Because if right now you're a business owner, for example, or you have a good career, there are probably things you could delegate. Like laundry takes a lot of time, cleaning your house, cooking, even going to the gym can take a lot of time. If you go to the gym for 2 hours a day, that takes a lot of time on your business, on everything. And no wonder why it's hard to just date and catch up. So you have to delegate and automate things that take a bunch of time as well, so that you can have the time to not only work on your business, work out, and date girls, etc. Like that's very important too. Myself, for example, in my business, I have virtual assistants that work for me and that help me edit videos or do stuff that I don't want to do, so that I can focus on the most important stuff and I can have the time to enjoy dating girls or doing other stuff. So anyways, the way I meet women, as I said, is mainly cold approach, Instagram, and a bit of social circle. Social circle, I mean, what I do with social circle is I, like a few times a month, I'm going to organize either a restaurant with my friends, or I'm going to organize like a party or some pre-drink at my house or whatever. And that's kind of what I do. I used to do a bunch of photo shoots with, like, you see a bunch of these guys, they do photo shoots and they rent like a big house and stuff like that. I used to do that, but for now, I'm not doing it because it's very time consuming. And I'd rather just date and go out with my friends than do photo shoots with models. I mean, you can do that if you just want the lifestyle of it, but I don't really care. And I've been with enough models, so I don't need that validation to just do photo shoots with models to build a social circle. But you can do that if you want. Now, don't waste your time. Okay, you don't need to go to the mall for 2 hours a day. There's a bunch of coaches, they're going to tell you you need to go and cold approach every day and go to the mall and blah blah blah. Bullshit. You don't need to do that. Number two, you don't need to create a ton of accounts on dating apps. Like, I have an account on Tinder and on Bumble, but I rarely use them because Instagram is much more efficient. Number three, you don't need to go to nightclubs 2, 3 times a week. I go to nightclubs maximum once a week or once every 2, 3 weeks. I don't go to nightclubs every week. So you don't need to do all these things that take a bunch of time. Like, you can just date without all these things, and I'm going to show you how. So the first blunder is not having enough volume, and the reason why is because throughout your week you're not approaching enough women, and you're just poorly managing your time and your week to do that, or you have some negative beliefs or negative patterns that keep you stuck, and you're just not approaching. Number two is it kind of links to what I said, like the negative beliefs and self-fulfilling prophecies. So that's one thing. And number three, a lot of you, even if you do approach, let's say you're a guy who does approach girls and you're not getting results. Well, it's probably because you don't iterate your process. You keep doing the same thing. You keep doing the thing you've been doing for 4 years now, or 3 years ago, and you haven't really changed or modified the way you approach women. You have to be very, very discerning. Like if something doesn't work and you've put in like a good enough amount of volume, that means there's something that is off in the way you talk or whatever. So if you approach 20 girls and you're not getting dates, like there's definitely something off in the way you talk with them or whatever. So you have to iterate things. The best speakers in the world, they continuously ask themselves, what could I have done better? What can I do better here? And same thing, I mean, when I used to learn game at a very high level in the beginning, I used to always ask myself like, wait, what could I have done better in this approach? Like seriously, if I had said this, wouldn't it have been better? Like if I said it this way, I think it would have been better. Or I would just think about like some improvement points. Like, okay, I would just kind of replay the approach in my head and be like, okay, maybe I should have done this move instead, or I should have said that instead. And this is how you get better as well with girls, is you need to have kind of this habit of like whenever you talk to a girl, especially in real life, you always reflect like, what could I have done better here? And this is why a lot of coaches are going to give you like a field report to do, kind of a field report. They're going to tell you, okay, list down like three things you've done right in this approach and three things you've done wrong and what you would do better the next time. And this is some of the things I tell my clients too. Like you want to do this thing consciously. Like sometimes when you approach a lot of girls, try to think, what are some of the things you've done right? What are some of the things that you could do better the next time? Because that's how you get better as well. So anyways, as I said, three systems you need to master: cold approach, online, social circle. And we're going to dive into some things here right now. So we're going to start with cold approach first, because this is really the main pillar. You don't want to master Instagram before you've even mastered like approaching women in real life. I think approaching women in real life is the first number one step you need to master, and then master online. Because if you master online without having mastered like actually having good conversations in real life, then what's going to happen is you're going to get on dates with you're going to get on dates with girls you've met online, but you won't have the conversational skills or the verbal structure to be able to kind of have those dates be successful. So I think if you're a guy who's new to this, or if you're a guy who's kind of struggling right now, you absolutely need to master cold approach first. This is the first system you want to master. And I'm sure you're seeing some beautiful women passing by. If you live in a city that's big enough, you're seeing beautiful women every day. I mean, when you go to the gym, when you go out to the grocery store, whatever, you see some girls. It's impossible that you don't see some girls you like. The problem is you're not approaching them most of the time. And this is what you need to fix right now. Because I guarantee you, if you took some of the chances you've missed, you would have gotten dates for sure. So this is one of the main things you need to solve. And you know, they say there's a saying like only dead fish go with the flow. And I absolutely agree. You don't want to be a guy who quote unquote goes with the flow. Like, oh, I'm only gonna approach when I feel like it. Or I'm only gonna approach when you know, I'm in a club and I had a few drinks already. I don't approach when you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to go with the flow. You know, you want to do it even if when you don't feel like it. You want to actually fuck your feelings. Like, because a lot of times your feelings are going to get in the way. You're going to see a girl and you're going to start being in your head. Like, you know, what if people look at me? Or what if this, what if that? Oh, it's going to be uncomfortable. Maybe I should do this another time. And that prevents you from meeting amazing girls. And so instead of being in your head and thinking and allowing the resistance to get the best of you, you want to do it anyway. Fuck your feelings. Like you see a girl, you just take that opportunity. You do it. Stop bitching out. You know, obviously, I mean, it's unrealistic to tell you that you're going to approach every single girl you see, because that's impossible. It's impossible to approach every single girl you see, but you should approach like at least 70% of the girls you truly like. You should be able to take a few minutes and go approach them. So if you see 10 girls that are hot throughout the week, you should be able to approach at least 5 of those, 6 of those, 7 of those. You know, I'm not telling you you're going to approach every single one, but at least a few. So You have to do this consistently. Now, even with the best systems, even with the best cold approach method, you won't be compatible with everybody. And you have to expect rejection. I get rejected all the time, and I'm happy about that. The sooner I am rejected, the happier I am, to be honest. Because the sooner I get rejected, the sooner I can move on and just filter girls, like I can weed out the wrong girls and just go straight to the girls who are interested. So it's kind of a triage mechanism. When I approach women, I don't expect them to like me, or I don't expect them to just I don't expect the approach to be successful every time. So you have to expect that as well. So that's one thing. Now, when it comes to a cold approach, honestly, I mean, a lot of guys are overthinking the whole thing. Like the opener, number one, it doesn't matter as much. Like you don't need to have a crazy opener. The goal of the opener is just to break the ice. So it doesn't need to be crazy. Sometimes, like my opener, I kid you not, like this week I've approached maybe two, three girls at the gym, and one of my openers was just like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" And just like very easy. It was just like, "Hey, what's up?" No, no, no. I've seen you here a couple times. Where are you from? And I was just like, that was my opener. Hey, what's up? So I don't need to do some fancy shit or whatever. Now, one of my basic opener, if I had to give you an opener right now, that would be basic and that would work in pretty much every situation. It would be this. It would be something like, hey, I know this is random. I just saw you. I don't know. You caught my eye. You looked interesting. I just wanted to say hi. Something like that. Like something like, hey, I just saw you. I know it's random or something like that. You looked interesting. And that's it. I wanted to say hi. This is like a basic standard opener. Like, hi, just saw you. You look interesting, or I love your style, or whatever. And then just wanted to meet you real quick. That's it. This is a standard opener. This is going to get your foot in the door. And then from there, you can just build up a good conversation, qualify her a little bit, and then close. I mean, I go deeper on this later and on my programs, but really an opener is your opener doesn't matter. I've approached girls with like very shitty openers, and it's not what matters. What matters more is the nonverbal, first of all, because 83 like sorry 93% of communication is nonverbal. It's not about what you say, it's about how you say things. So if you say things the right way, even if those things are not that crazy, it's still gonna work, you know. If James Bond, let's say you're James Bond and you walk up to a girl, well, even if you just say, hey, how's it going, well, it's gonna work because like you're James Bond. So you see what I mean? Like it's also like the nonverbal stuff and how you carry yourself. If you carry yourself the right way, then pretty much anything can work as well. But still, you need to have a strategy. And in my conversations and in the things I teach, I give my clients a strategy. We have actually a system called the ACCQC system. So this is the system called the ACCQC, where I show them exactly like how to grab her attention, how to clarify their intent, how to cold read the right way and have great conversations that lead to something, how to inject like kind of a romantic tone to the conversation, like how to flirt in the conversation a little bit so that it's not just platonic, and how to really qualify and close correctly. So ACCQC, grab her attention, clarify your intent, cold reading and conversation, and then qualify and then close. ACCQC. This is something I teach. One of the things I teach many different acronyms and methods and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, approaching women is not that hard. But having systems is key because it gives you predictability. Once, if you have a verbal system, you're going to be able to get into conversation with much more confidence because you kind of know what to expect. If you're a guy who kind of wings it and you just approach a girl without having a strategy, uh, you're not going to be as confident in your ability to get her. Like myself right now, when I approach a girl, I'm pretty confident that I'm going to get her number because I've done it so many times that I know what to expect. Like whatever bullshit she gives me or whatever stuff she tells me, like I kind of know how to navigate it because I've been through this shit so much. So when you have a verbal system, it just gives you predictability. Like you know what to do and it gives you more consistent results. So I highly recommend working on having kind of a verbal structure when you talk to women. And this is basically what I call like real life social hacking because once you have a system, you're able to be kind of like a chess player in the conversation. I don't know if some of you played chess before, but when you play chess, you have to kind of anticipate the moves of your opponent. And it's kind of the same thing with in conversations. Well, in conversations with girls, I can anticipate what I need to say because I know kind of the how I understand the communication principles and how a conversation should go. And so no matter what she says, I know what I can say to get my outcome. So just having a verbal system is is a hack because you can just you will know what to do. Like if she says this, you need to say that. And if she says that, you need to say this. And it's just like easy, you know? And all these communication principles that you're gonna learn, they're gonna help you with your business and sales and all of that. If you've done sales before, I don't know if some of you have been in sales. Dating is very similar. I mean, when you talk to a prospect and you're on a sales call, you have to also understand how to navigate the conversation, understand how to frame things the right way, understand how to ask the right questions at the right time, and stuff like that. And all these things are very important. And so getting better with women has also helped me tremendously in sales. Like I've done a lot of money in sales, and this is because I've also learned this from picking up girls. To be honest, the more I learn about dating, the better I get at sales. And same wise, I mean, I've learned some things in sales that could be applicable to dating. So all of those work together. But it's really about having this $1 million mouthpiece where you can be anywhere, anytime, and you know for a fact you can just engineer that situation where you meet a girl, you know what to say, you know what to do, and you get dates. You have this $1 million mouthpiece where you know what to say, what to do at each time. You're not like surprised or your mind going blank, or you're just like you just saying some bullshit and you're boring. No, you know what to do. So that's one thing. Now let's talk about the online system because cold approach is cool and it's important to master, but relying on that is a big mistake. You also want to be a guy who has a great online presence because even if you approach a girl, so let's say you approach a girl right now, well, one way to stay in contact with her is Instagram. Like when I approach women, I usually grab their Instagram. I don't grab their number. And so this is why having a good online presence is important because when you approach women in real life as well, you're going to grab their Instagram as well most of the time. Now you can grab their WhatsApp, you can grab their number, but Instagram is really good as well because they can see how you live your life. They can see your stories, they can see your posts, your carousels, your photos, your reels, your highlights. So it just gives her a lot more context about who you are, right? So that's one thing. Now Tinder, Bumble, etc. I mean, I use them sometimes, but to be honest, they're a bit for peasants. Like it's not super high value. Like being on Tinder, swiping, it's not super high value. It's not like Instagram. Instagram is more high value. It looks better. Meeting a girl on Instagram looks more high value than meeting a girl through Tinder. Because Instagram is really where everything is everything is on Instagram. Like celebrities are on Instagram, influencers, like people are just DMing each other on Instagram all the time. Like, so it's a high value way to do it. And even for networking, Instagram is super useful. How many guys have I met through Instagram? Like I met so many guys through Instagram. Every time I travel, I meet guys through Instagram as well. Like I was in Dubai in February, if some of you saw my stories, and a lot of guys I met on Instagram, like we connected. So Instagram is not only for dating, but it's also for business, for networking, for all of these things. um this is one of my clients, Ben. When he met me, he had like 3K followers, which is okay, but his online presence wasn't that good. He wasn't getting a lot of dates. And after like literally after 4 weeks, like I got him to 40K followers, a lot of great pictures and a lot more dates. And he even told me like he told me I'm getting tons of dates and comically swamped with nines. So that means like, yeah, he's getting a lot of dates with super attractive girls now that uh he improved his profile. And this is not just him, like a lot of my clients too, and even myself, I can see the difference. Like when you have a strong online presence, it affects how women perceive you even in real life. Because if you meet a girl in real life and maybe she's a bit interested but not that interested, but then you take her Instagram and she sees your stories, she sees how you live your life, she can get from a 5 out of 10 in terms of interest to an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10 in terms of like her interest, just because she consumed your social media, and she saw how you looked online. I have a lot of girls that, in the beginning I took their Instagram in a nightclub and it was very quick, and so she wasn't that bought in. But then she started following me, and after a few days, she was like looking at my stories and looking at my posts. And after a few days, like she messaged me, like, "Hey man, hey, no, 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 was fun meeting you, blah blah blah." And she was the one messaging me because she went through my funnel. She went through my funnel. She consumed my stuff. She saw what kind of guy I am, and she got more interested, right? So your Instagram actually can turn cold leads or like neutral leads into warm leads, right? So it converts girls a lot better. You don't need to have thousands of followers. I mean, I say to my clients, like the minimum would be four figures, so 1K. Once you get your 1K followers, 2K, 3K, you're good. And you can get that in 5 minutes. You go to a website that I give. There's a website called UBoost. I give this to some of my clients. It's called UBoost. And basically you can get like 1,000 followers for $5, or you can get 2,000 for $10. And literally in 5 minutes you get like 1 or 2,000 followers. So you don't need to wait till you build an audience or whatever. That's what I recommend. Like if you have less than 1,000 followers, go buy like $5 of like 1,000 followers, and then you're good. And then just post like some great pictures, which I'm going to show you. And have the right systems. Like you have to know how to find girls, and then text them the right way. I'm going to show you some secrets when it comes to online presence. So first thing, uh, ideally in the picture, there's no one else but you. Like have most of your pictures, it should be pictures of yourself only, like not you and your buddies all the time, etc. Like be kind of a lone wolf in your pictures. Like be alone in 99% of your pictures. Number two, when you take a picture, don't look at the camera. Look away. Look away. Don't look at the camera directly. You have to look. It has to look like someone, like a paparazzi or someone, a third person took the picture and you didn't even notice. It has to look natural. So don't look at the camera. Live your life and just look away and have someone take a picture of you. Number three, no selfies. I see a bunch of guys posting selfies of them in a car or selfies of them in front of the mirror or whatever. Don't do that. Just have like pictures that are taken from you from a third party, not like you taking a selfie, etc. Now, in your stories, you can put selfies, but not on a feed post, like not in your actual feed. Now, high status secret number four: whenever you post a picture, always color grade it a little bit. What I mean by color grade it is you want to go to either Instagram editing or some editing app. So if you have Photoshop, then great, or Snapseed or Vesco, whatever app you use, there's a bunch of free apps. You just want to edit a little bit. Even Apple, I mean, Apple, if you go to photos on Apple, you can actually edit the photos on Apple. You can edit the brightness, the saturation, the sharpness, the whatever. Like you can edit. You want to edit a few things. Like for example, what I edit usually is I edit the sharpness. I like to make the photo a bit more sharp, a bit of contrast, a bit of saturation, stuff like that. Like I just color grade a bit so that it just stands out a little more. Because every picture you take can be like 20 to 50% better if you just edit it like a little bit, and it takes like 2 minutes. So I always edit a little bit. I try to make the colors kind of shine a bit more, stuff like that. And then high status secret number five is your photos must be taken in a high status environment. So a lot of guys take pictures in like bullshit places, like some whatever, like some, I don't know, some street that looks dirty, or some like low level restaurant or whatever. Instead, take pictures in high status places, like in hotel lobbies, in, I don't know, if there's a rooftop with a nice view, or if there's like a famous iconic monument or place. Like, if you're in Dubai, for example, you can take pictures like in some of the cool spots, like in some of the cool spots in the Palm, or some of the cool spots near the Burj Khalifa, or I don't know, like there are some iconic places in every city where you can take like really cool shots. And if you don't know what those places are, just type in on Google. what are the most Instagrammable places in XYZ city you're at. So if you're in Paris, you can type in like what are the most Instagrammable places in Paris, and then you will find a bunch of places where you can take pictures and you can do that. Or what are the most luxurious restaurants, and then you will find like some luxurious restaurants or even hotels. What are the most luxurious hotels? And you just take pictures. It's not going to cost you anything to go to a hotel lobby and take like great pictures. They're not going to charge you for that. Worst case, you can buy a coffee there and take pictures. Okay. It doesn't cost much, but you have to look like you're living a good lifestyle. So you don't need to be rich, but you need to look rich, because perception is reality. And women make up their minds very quickly online. Like, women are going to look at your profile, and in 3 seconds they're going to know whether they want to be with you or not. So you have to really take pictures in high status environments, either cool bars, cool restaurants, cool hotels, places. Be well dressed and look your best, because that's how they're going to judge you. Now there's plenty of other elements like your bio, your stories, the number of followers you have, stuff like that, but your photos are super important. Now, this is how my Instagram looks like most days of the week, to be honest, because if I DM 30, 50 girls, I'm going to have at least like, I don't know, maybe 5, 10, 15 replying at a time. And then I just move the conversations forward. So that's what I do, to be honest. It's not very complicated, but I have a system, and my Instagram is optimized, and there's a way. It's not luck. Like, there's a system to do it. So, by the way, you can follow me on Instagram if you haven't yet. I'll follow you back. But this is my Instagram if you want to check out what I do. Because one of the best things you can do is look for guys who are already successful and copy a bit what they do. So, for example, some of you guys might follow Iman Gadzhi, or you follow like Andrew Tate, or you follow some of these guys. Well, if they're successful, try to copy a bit kind of what they do, how they portray themselves, what kind of pictures they take, because success leaves clues. And so you want to copy the most successful guys and see kind of what they do and emulate like their online presence a bit, right? So that's one thing. Now there's a messaging system. I can't show you right now, but there's a full messaging system that we use. If you want to know my opener, honestly, my opener is very easy. Like, if I text a girl on Instagram, my opener is gonna be either her name or her name, comma, city, question mark. So, for example, let's say I'm in New York, right? And I DM a girl in New York. Well, my first message could be, if her name is Sarah, it could be like Sarah, comma, New York, question mark. Very easy. Sarah, comma, New York, question mark. Or just Sarah. That's it. That's my opener, Sarah. But then once she replies, there's a whole process. But it doesn't have to be too long. Like, my conversations are not too long. It's a few back and forths, and then I propose a drink. But there's a way. So that's one thing. Now, the last pillar that you're going to need to master is social circle. So social circle, networking, all of these things, that's what we cover. Because dating and having sex with multiple women is cool, but you also need to build a social circle, because if you're just a loner who just fucks girls and doesn't have any cool friends, it's not good. I mean, you want to have that. And plus, it's not that fulfilling. Like, once you have sex with a few girls, then what? And so what? So what? What's next, right? And the next step is actually having a cool group of friends that are friends that are high value, high quality, being invited to some cool events, having female friends around, and really living a life that you're proud of. Like, going to some cool events, having friends, people that support you. Really, like, that's going to fuel your whole life, and it's going to bring a lot of opportunities as well. Now, when it comes to dating, you can either have a top-down approach or a bottom-up approach. What's a top-down approach? So a top-down approach is basically when you have this approach to dating where it's like you have a cool Instagram, you have a cool social circle, you have female friends, you have connections, you have events, you have stuff that allows you to just have women come to you, right? Because, for example, me with the DJing, when I DJ in some places here, I have a kind of a top-down approach to dating, because I'm kind of at the top and women come to me. So I'm kind of the authority. Same thing when you go to a club with like four girls and you have a table. It's kind of a top-down approach because you kind of have like some status in the venue and it's easier, right? When you have a social circle and you host parties and you're the host of a party, well, you have status and stuff, and so women come to you as well. So you have a top-down approach. Now, a bottom-up approach is when you don't have a lot of status and the whole process feels like sleazy. So you're just like running around the mall, harassing some girls to just get a date, or you just spend 3 hours a day on Snapchat or on Tinder, wasting time with some dead ends. So a bottom-up approach is like the rat race of dating. So the rat race of dating is just like running around the mall or just spending 3 hours a day on dating apps. That's the bottom up. Now the top down is when you have status, you have a cool online presence that brings you dates on autopilot, you have a social circle with female friends and connections where you go to parties all the time, events, etc. You have cool VIP tables everywhere. You can do whatever the fuck you want, and it's a top-down approach, right? Dan Bilzerian has a top-down approach. Your local pickup artist has a bottom-up approach. So it's two levels, two different games, right? And so it's that's what you need to understand. Like there's a bottom up, there's top down. Now, ideally, you want to be as top down as you can because that's gonna be better and more effortless. So that's one thing. A lot of people out there talk about day game, night game, whatever, etc. But you also need to build a social circle. Like it's important. Like social circle building is one of the keys to actually retaining girls as well. So that's one thing. So that's kind of it's kind of there's kind of a triangle of elite success with women. The number one at the top, the number one thing is you need to have a high value lifestyle and a high value, and a high sexual market value. So if you have a cool lifestyle, you have friends around, you have a good sexual market value, which means like you take care of yourself, you dress well, you go to the gym, you make some money, and you cold approach sometimes and you have pretty good seduction skills, then that's one of the pillars that's going to get you dates. Another pillar is having a strong online presence. So having a strong online presence, a cool Instagram, etc. That's one of the second pillars. And then the last pillar is social circle. So full approach, online social circle. But at the top of the top, what you need to have mastered first is having a high value lifestyle and like a good sexual market value that communicates high status. Anyway, so that's kind of that's kind of what you need to master and what's going to get you there, right? And for social circle, I teach a lot of systems too, like how to organize events, how to bring like a lot of girls in your events, stuff like that. Like there's so many things you're going to learn, right? Now, here's what I want to ask you now. First of all, are you happy so far you came to this session today? I hope yes. Let me know. Number two, do you realize that by knowing this already, by knowing what you need to do, you already have an advantage because most guys, they don't even know what they need to do. They don't even think about these things. So by already being here and understanding the steps you need to take, you're already far ahead from most guys. Now, would you like to hear how I can show you how you can get 10 times faster there and how you can actually really like learn the proper systems once and for all? Let me know because I can definitely show you. And this is something that I've spent a lot of time working on. So Avilash says, yes, 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 Samir, yes, doing now. Okay, awesome, awesome, guys. I mean, super excited to show you this and super excited to have you here and give you this opportunity. So first of all, I mean, if you've been getting the same results in your dating life for the past few months, this means that you're kind of stuck in the same cycle right now. And doing more of what doesn't work will only get you the same results. Like if you do more of what doesn't work, if you don't change something, nothing is going to change. And the thing is, when it comes to changing, you can either walk the minefield blind, like just do it yourself, or take the information I told you so far and try to apply it. And yeah, you're gonna maybe dabble around like by yourself, but you're not gonna have any support, any community, any wingman. It's gonna be a bit of a hard process, and you're probably gonna take a lot of time to get results. Or you get accountability, you get support, you get a system, and everything goes much more smoothly and much faster. Like in literally like in less than 4 weeks or 8 weeks, in like a month or two, you can get to a level where you just have dates consistently, and you don't even think about it anymore. It just becomes part of your life. So let me introduce you to something. I'm going to introduce you to what some of my clients are calling the Rolls Royce of dating programs, because it truly is. And this is really the Harvard of dating. Like if there's a Harvard of dating, this is it, right? So let me explain. So number one, I mean, my program, if you don't know it, it's called the Dating Accelerator. This is one of my most popular program, and I've really improved it over the years. And this is really the program through which, like, all the testimonials you've seen, they come from this program, the Dating Accelerator. The goal of this program is to get you from getting no dates or very few dates or kind of relying on luck, not having a system, to having a system, dating high quality women consistently, and really living a top 1% lifestyle. So not only dating girls, but also having a lifestyle that allows you to make more money, travel the world, have a cool social circle, and everything on point. And how the program works is that, there's 8 weeks, and every single week we're going to tackle specific systems. So for example, week one, it's mainly going to be about female psychology and really understanding how the dating market works in a very high level, and how to make your attention super valuable. Because nowadays, like, unless you make your attention extra valuable and you learn how to weaponize your attention correctly, you're not going to be able to get the highest quality girls, because the highest quality girls are already receiving a ton of attention from most guys. And so if you don't learn how to make your attention scarce and how to understand female psychology to a level where you understand them really well, it's not going to work well. The number two is really working on your character, because to get to a level where you master your dating life, you have to become the type of a different type of person, really. Like, if right now you're not getting dates in some way, you have to become the type of guy who gets dates. And this takes an identity transformation in some way. You have to go through an identity transformation where it becomes part of you, really. And unless you do that, you're going to keep kind of relying on some cheap gimmicks and not really getting anywhere. So week one and two, it's really a lot about mindset, female psychology, mastering your own psychology. And obviously we cover a few systems too, but really the main systems start in week three. And remember, we have 8 weeks together. So week one and two, it's mainly about building the right foundations. And week three, that's where we start with the systems. So week three, I'm going to show you the bulletproof approach system. And so this is a system that shows you exactly how to approach women the right way, anywhere you go, whether in the street, at the gym, in the grocery store. It doesn't matter where, you're going to know exactly how to approach women. And this becomes easy. It becomes fun. Like, once you learn how to do it, it just becomes fun. You're able to approach women every single day, every single week, and just get dates every single time. And obviously, the body language is very important. So we're going to cover how to master nonverbals. Body language could be like it could be, I mean, we master everything from tonality to body posture to, really style and everything, like everything. The nonverbals, super important. Now, week four, we cover verbal systems. So how do you escalate things? How do you sexualize things? How do you demonstrate high value? How do you control the frame of the conversation? How do you build attraction in the conversation? How do you make her invested and make her qualify herself to you? All these things we cover in week four. And this is really the what I call the $1 million mouthpiece, because once you know what to say and when to say it, and you have like all these systems in your verbal communication, you become unstoppable. You can talk to any girl and know exactly what to say. And there's no more like, oh, but what should I say when she says this, or what should I do? No, you know exactly what to do. And when it comes to escalation, if right now you're getting dates and you're not like closing, like meaning like you're not sleeping with them, it's probably because in your conversation you're not introducing some sexual frames, and you're not like sexualizing the right way and all of that. It's probably that. Or you're not dealing with potential objections and preceding things. So anyways, week four is very, very deep. We're going to cover all that. Week five, it's about closing. So it's about like, how do you close from a date? Like, how do you conduct the whole date? And how do you close when you go out? So let's say you go to a nightclub, you go to a bar, you go to somewhere. How do you close the deal when you go out? That's week 5. Week 6, it's about online. So all the online systems. I mean, the stuff I showed you with Instagram, I mean, it's nothing. I mean, what we've covered now in the webinar, that's like 0.1% of the things I show you. Like really, I mean, there's so the rabbit hole goes deep. I can tell you, like the rabbit hole goes very, very deep when it comes to online. And I'm going to show you everything, like how to funnel girls into your profile, how to, like my women management system, because there's a system to manage all the leads, how to text them the right way, how to save time online, like everything. And this is going to show you like how to really have your pipeline full of girls like wanting to go on a date with you, DMing you, and having your Instagram look like this, where you have like conversations with girls all the time, you know. So that's one thing. And then week 7, how to retain women. So that's a big one, like how to actually retain them after you have sex with them. What's next? Like how do you actually have relationships with them and retain? And then week 8, it's like social circle and networking. So how to build a social circle in your city that allows you to get dates consistently, that allows you to have a crazy lifestyle, and all of that. So that's kind of how it works. Now, this is the curriculum in some way, but every single week we're going to have calls together. So every single week you can jump on calls. As you can see me in this photo, I'm on a call, and every single week I'm going to give you some action items, some stuff to do, and we're gonna be able to talk together. Like on the call, you can come and we can talk like this. Like you can just ask me questions every single time, and you have lifetime access to these calls, like lifetime. Once you're in, you can join the calls like for life. Even 5 years from now, you can call me. So that's one thing. Now, what's good is you're also going to have access to our mastermind group. So we have a mastermind. Now it's been almost 5 years that we have this mastermind. So we grew it big now. We have like more than 200 people inside, and we have people like all over the world. Like we talk about, we talk about business, we talk about crypto, we talk about dating, we talk about everything in this mastermind. I share business stuff all the time. So that's what's good is like once you join our community, not only are you going to learn all the systems, not only are you going to get calls every week, but you're also going to be part of our mastermind. Like you are going to be part of a group of guys who are committed, who are dedicated to their success, and this is going to really motivate you. So that's one thing. And just imagine all the girls you're going to be meeting and dating once you crack the code, because really every single week you're not having the systems, you're wasting experiences, you're wasting your youth in a way, because some of you are already like 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever. And every single week you're not engaging in the right practices. You're just losing time and not dating the girls you're supposed to date. So your life is going to be 10 times more enjoyable once you actually have the right systems and you do this. That's one thing. Now, back in the day, the cost of having like a dating coach would be like $13,000, $10,000, stuff like that. But I want to make this really affordable for you guys, because I don't want you guys to be stuck for another year or two. I want you guys to start getting results as soon as possible without having to invest thousands of dollars into this, right? And to be honest, in the past, clients would consistently pay me at least $3,000. Even now, I mean, now too, I have some programs where clients pay me like 3,000, 6,000, stuff like that. But I want to make this really affordable for you guys, so you guys can, if you're serious, learn the proper systems and get dates like as soon as possible. So here's what you're going to get. Basically, if you join us today, number one, you're going to get, like, as I said, the full 8 weeks of the dating accelerator, like the full system. And honestly, over the course of your life, that's easily a 5,000 euro value, easily, because I'm always refining these systems. You're going to save so much time and headache trying to figure things out by yourself. So this is easily 5,000 euros of value. Then you're going to get weekly calls every single week with clear action items. Like every week on Wednesday, you can join our calls and you can ask your questions. That's easily more than 3,000 euros of value. You're also going to get access to all the future updates of the course, because I'm always refining it. You're going to get access to our mastermind. This is priceless. To be honest, this is priceless, because you're part of a community of guys that are crushing it, and we share some powerful stuff. So you get all of that, and you also get all my books, like Playboy Secrets, Instagram Secrets, all the books I've done in the past, and that's also a lot of value. So you're getting easily more than 12,000 euros of value with all this, to be honest. That's going to save you so much time and money, etc. But today, what I'm going to do is that instead of having the whole thing at 12,000 euros, it's only going to be 597. It's only going to be 597 instead of 12,000. And with that, you get all of this. You get the 8 weeks, the whole course, the weekly calls, the action items, everything, and lifetime. And you get also the circle. So I'm going to drop a link. The link is basically go.higherselfcircle.com. One second. It's not this meeting group chat. Yeah, so the link is go.higherselfcircle.com/one-time promo. So I dropped the link right now. This link is going to be up for exactly 24 hours. There's a timer on it. It's going to be 24 hours exactly. And here's the thing. The first 10 people of you guys that are going to join, I'm going to do a call with them, one-on-one. I'm going to do a one-on-one call with them where I'm going to be not only onboarding you, I mean, you're going to get access right away, by the way, but I'm still going to onboard you and give you personal advice directly, like one-on-one. We're going to do a one-on-one Zoom call together. So literally, you get everything. Like you get my course, you get the 8 weeks I've talked about, everything, and the weekly calls and the Circle Mastermind that we have on Telegram, everything for 597. And you can pay in 2 times, by the way. There's a payment plan. So it's either 597 one time or 397 2 times. So 397. So today you get 65% off on the original price. And if you're part of the first 10 people who join, I'm going to do a one-on-one call with you, all of you, one-on-one together, where we sit down on a Zoom call and I basically do a personalized session with you. Now, congrats again on watching this, because obviously if you're here, like if you stuck till the end, I mean, you're already part of the 1%. But if you want to accelerate your journey, I highly, highly recommend you join now, because the price is not going to get any cheaper. And this is really how you're going to get results. So let me send you again the link. The link is this one, go.higherselfcircle.com/one-time promo. You can go and click this link in the chat. Let me show you how it looks like from the inside. So let me just share my screen, my Google Chrome. I'm just going to go on Google Chrome right now. Just give me a second. Where's the other screen? Give me a second, guys. I'm just going to, yeah, this one. So basically, when you click that link, it's going to lead you to this page, go.higherselfcircle/one-time promo. And then basically, as you can see, you save almost 70% off, because usually the price is 2K for the course and the calls. But now you get it at 597 today. And what you can do is you can pay up to 2 times, two times 397. And once you're in, you have lifetime access. You have lifetime access to the whole course. So let me show you the course from the inside. So once you join, you're going to have access to a library, okay? And you're going to have some logins. As soon as you finish paying, okay, you receive like all the details in your email, okay? The email that you put here, you're going to receive all the details right away. And once you join, you get access to the library. So inside the library, you get access to the course. So you can go through the whole course. So you have week 1, all the modules, week 2, all the modules, week 3, week 4, week 5, etc. So if I click on any module, let's say I click on the verbal system module in week 4, okay, verbal system, week 4, that's 81 minutes. This one is like 1 hour and 21 minutes, like where I break it down, I go super deep on all the systems, I go through everything, right? 81 minutes. I go through everything. Now, this is just one module out of plenty. I mean, there's so much in the course. I mean, the course is value packed from beginning to end. Like there's so many things. We cover the bulletproof approach system in week 3. This is like a 60-minute video, all the systems, like everything. So you have everything. And recently, we moved over to school as well. We have both. We have like this members area, but you're also going to have access to school. And on school, we have access to also week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, etc. Right? And you have the weekly calls here. If you go to the calendar, you have the weekly calls as well that you can join. So I'm going to send the link again for those of you who are serious. This is it, guys. This is like all you need to finally crack the code, have everything. And my guarantee is that I will get you at least 3 dates within the next 30 to 60 days. Otherwise, I will keep working with you personally. And you can even ask for a refund if you truly feel like this program is not valuable. But I don't think you will do that because honestly, like no one, pretty much no one does this because they see they will see, you will see yourself too. There's so much value in the program that really, like, even if you don't get dates after 2 3 weeks, like it will come, it will come because the systems work. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, you join the program and then the next day you're going to be a super playboy and that's it, girls are going to come to you. No, it's going to take a bit of work. Like, it's not a magic pill. You're going to have to approach women, you're going to have to do some stuff, etc. But it's just going to take a lot less time than if you do it together. It's going to take like, in like 4 to 8 weeks, you can make crazy progress and you can start getting at least 2 3 dates a week if you want to, or have an amazing girlfriend if that's your goal. So this is it, guys. I mean, I sent you the link. Let me know basically who signed up. If you have questions, let me know. I'm going to do a quick Q&A. So let me know if you have any questions about the program or anything. Let me know if you have an issue with the money, because what we do is we can do something with the money. If the money is an issue, so let's say right now, you think like, oh, okay, yeah, I want to join, but like 597 for me, it's too much right now. Like, I'm broke, I can't join, right? So if that's your case, let me know. And honestly, like, we can work something out, because honestly, I don't care. Like, I don't care whether you join or not. I'd rather you join than you don't. So for me, like, I can always help you. So that's one thing. So I really want to help you to get in, because you're just gonna miss out if you don't get in. So let me know, Alex or Stanley or Thomas or James or Alex or Johnny, Davis, whatever questions you have, just ask it in the chat. Drop it in the chat if you have a question. Let's dive into it. It could be any question, not just about the program, like even in general. Like, if you have a question about cold approach, online, social circle, some of the stuff I covered. For example, in week 6, basically every single week, you're going to have plenty of resources. Like, you're going to have plenty of PDFs and resources and stuff like that. In week 6, I have like a PDF called the 50 Shades of Game that I share with all my clients. I share like some PDFs. And this is like a PDF where you have more than 25 plus conversations, from open to close, basically, of me DMing girls. So for example, you open this link, you have conversations with Romina. Okay, this is a girl I've dated in Romania when I was in Romania. And same thing, this girl, bam, it starts with a cold DM. So as I, really, my opener is either their name or name, comma, city, question mark. That's my opener. And then bam, we have a conversation, and then afterwards we get a date, right? And that's it. And from open to close, I'll show you everything. Now, I'm not going to go through it all, but we have that for like plenty of conversations. And inside the course, there's so much more, so much more. So yeah. So anyways, K Sudeep says, being 5 feet and average looking, can I get married with 9 out of 10 and live happy if I follow the systems? Well, yeah, you can. I mean, there's plenty of examples of guys who are not that good looking and who are getting amazing girls. It depends on your character. Like, I've seen so many guys that were like not that tall and not that good looking, but they were dating amazing girls because they have a strong character, they know who they are, they know how to talk to them, and that's it. Johnny says, is it Dating Accelerator your top program at the moment? How many total programs you have? So that's a good question, Johnny. No, it's not my top program. What? I don't know what you mean by top, but basically, I have like two main programs. I have like the course only, which is the one I'm giving you now. This is the course with like the weekly calls and stuff like that. But I also have like a mentoring program. I have like a mentoring program that's like more one-on-one, this one, where we have 2 calls per week. So we have 2 calls per week. As you can see now, we're finishing the March mentoring. There's like a masterclass week 1, accountability call week 1, masterclass week 2, accountability call week 2. So we have 2 calls per week in my mentoring program, and we have a lot of one-on-one. I have like a lot of one-on-one with people, so they can message me one-on-one, etc. And it's more personalized. So my mentoring program is 3K. This is why I told you, like, a lot of my clients pay me 3K. That's my mentoring program. And then if you want to get the course only and 1 weekly call, That's what I'm giving you now, like the 597. You get the whole course and you get one call a week that you can join on Wednesday. But with the mentoring, it's much deeper. Like with the mentoring, you get, we have like a one-on-one chat together on Telegram. We have 2 calls per week. And the mentoring is deeper. So yeah, the mentoring is a bit deeper. Mark says, how to keep a conversation going during the date? Well, this is very it's a very deep question because there are so many things that we do during a date, honestly, to keep it going. But one thing that I want to say is honestly on a date, you shouldn't be doing most of the talking. Like she should do most of the talking. Honestly, when I'm on a date, like I'm just laid back, to be honest. I'm laid back. I'm letting her talk. I'm asking questions. I'm genuinely curious about her. And there's a lot of systems, obviously. Like there's a lot of things I do to flirt with her, things, questions I ask that are a bit flirty. I sexualize things also. I talk about a lot of sexual things and stuff like that. So there's so many things. Like this question is very deep. We covered that super hard on week 5. Like on week 5, there's a module called Dating Like a Playboy. And there's like also there's plenty of modules about closing, but week 5 is the week where we're going to cover like how to keep a conversation going during the day. So yeah, but yeah, Mark, I mean, so many things. Like really, I can't go super deep on that now, but yeah. Alex says, how can I know that a woman is interested in me? Well, she's going to give you obviously signals like she's going to look at you a certain way. She's going to maybe online, she's going to reply fast. She's going to touch her hair when she talks at you. She's going to smile, laugh at your jokes, whatever. Like you're going to know like when a woman is interested, like you can tell. In any case, Alex, let me know, man, if you enjoy this presentation and if basically, yeah, if what's stopping you to join, basically. Is it the price? Is it you right now? Mark, too, let me know. All of you guys who are remaining in this call, let me know basically if you joined or not, and if and what I can do to help you to join if you're interested. Because if you stayed till now, it's probably because you're interested. So if there's something I can do to help you, or if it's a money issue, then let me know and we can definitely do something. One thing I want to show you is that recently, actually, I've released what I call Dating Systems Premium, which is a premium membership. So instead of paying like $597 once, I can show you. Instead of paying $597 once, you can pay, 1 second. You can pay $89 a month. Okay, you pay $89 a month and you can cancel anytime. And you have access to the course and everything. So it's either you pay $597 once and you have access to the course and everything, lifetime and everything, or you can join Dating Systems Premium. I'm going to drop the link right now. And this is a community on School. And you have access to the course inside, but it's going to be slower. You're not going to have access to everything right away. You're going to have to go through some levels, etc. So Dating Systems Premium is an option if right now you're kind of struggling or you feel like it's too expensive or whatever. So it's either those two. I'm going to drop a link. I'm going to drop the link again. The 2 links. So Alex, Johnny, Thomas, all of you, these are the 2 options. Or my mentoring. If you're interested in my mentoring, which is more high level, my mentoring is 3K, then just message me later on Instagram and we can talk about it, because it's much more deeper. But if you want to get started and start getting dates and have the full systems, etc., then you can get the course or get inside the community. The course is $597, but there's payment plans, and the community is like $89 a month. So it's $89 a month, and you get lifetime access. Not lifetime, sorry. You get access to everything as long as you keep paying the membership. So $89 a month. So let me know, guys, if you have any other questions about anything, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up soon. I want to thank you again, by the way, for showing up. I appreciate you showing up. I hope you got a bit of clarity on what you need to do and what the next steps are. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you haven't yet. I post a lot of stuff there. And yeah, let me know basically if you have a question about joining, if you're hesitating right now or you have something, let me know. We can just talk about it now. I'm gonna stay 5 more minutes. So drop your question if you have a question. 5 more minutes, and then I'll wrap it up.